Okay, we are recording. All right, oil and chakra presentation. My name is Amanda Gregg, and welcome. So with that, that handout will be sent to you later on, and I look forward to sending that to you so you have some more information and things that you can work with and play with on your own. So looking forward to that. So every class and program that I do, and those of you that have been in my programs will recognize this, that I do a little bit of a letting go exercise first. And I wanted to share something that came across in my meditation this morning. I do the Calm app. If you know of that app, great app. I recommend it. I am not being paid to say that, but I've been using that for the last 6 years and love it a lot. But the meditation that I went through this morning really just brought this into awareness for me, and really thinking about how this all connects and how we go through kind of learning things throughout our life. So the first is I hear and I forget. So there is this piece of when we hear something, it comes in for us, but then sometimes we forget it. Then the next one is I see and I remember. And then the last part is I do and I understand. And so I think today's presentation and our continuing education together is that opportunity for really doing and understanding, and being able to come to that place of experimenting, being curious about what these oils and what these chakras mean, and then being able to start applying that for ourselves and moving forward. So that was Confucius that said that. So with the letting go exercise, what I really like to do, if you're comfortable, just closing your eyes, being able to get centered into our space. And because we are doing a chakra presentation, this is a great way to start introducing that into what we're going to be talking about tonight. So if you're comfortable closing your eyes, if you're not, you can definitely keep your eyes open. But I really encourage you to follow through with this breathing exercise that we're going to do with each of our chakras. So we're going to start there. So just close your eyes. I will do the same. I'm going to talk you through this. So what we're really going to do is we're going to recognize everything that we've been doing, all that we've done before we came to tonight's presentation. And we're just going to be able to take all of that and just set it aside for now, knowing that you came into this presentation really wanting to add to maybe your toolbox, maybe understand oils more. And so you really set aside this time for yourself. And so I just want you to take that moment and be able to just breathe there for a minute and just set aside what happened before this moment, before this time we came together tonight. So we're just breathing. And then I want you to just take a moment and come into your heart space. So from your mind, we're just bringing our awareness into our heart space, traveling from the mind to the heart, allowing our thoughts just to come and go, and really working to listen to today's content and ideas just from our heart space and from this place. So just taking a moment to notice this area. What does it feel like? Maybe you see a color. Maybe it just allows you to just relax into this moment and into this time together. And then just breathing there, we're just going to set an intention for tonight's continuing education for you. Maybe it's just an openness to the information. Maybe you're curious about one chakra or another. So just allowing yourself to be open to that. Just breathing into that space. And then through this, what we're going to do, we are going to start with a breathing exercise, and I'm going to lead us through that. And it's really just an experiential breathing exercise that brings us through all of our chakras. It's going to be a great opening, great balancing, and great just recognizing this area for each of us and within our own body. So just follow along as best you can. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be breathing in and out of each of our chakras. And if you can, we're going to be breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth as we breathe in each one. And don't worry, I will step by step take us through this. So you don't need to think. You are just coming from that heart space and just really focusing on each of these chakras. So we're going to start with our crown chakra, which is at the tip of our head. And we're just going to take a moment. Let's just take one breath here together, in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale out. Just staying here for a moment, just recognizing what's happening in that crown chakra. Just being able to feel that. We're going to be talking about different colors, different things that each of these areas mean and what oils are going to connect. But right now, we are just feeling into our own space, our own chakras. So we're going to breathe in through this chakra. So breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And we're going to breathe in through the third eye, right between the eyebrows. Out through the third eye. In through the throat. Out through the throat. In through the heart chakra, right at the heart space. And then in through the solar plexus at the base of your ribs. In through the sacral, right at the belly. In through the root, right at the base of the spine. And out at the root. And then we're just going to stop here, just noticing as we moved through all of those chakras of our own body, the collective, what we call the collective a lot of times is the central channel, where energy moves throughout all of our systems through these different chakras. These chakras can be opened, closed, in transition. We're just noticing that right now. We're not striving for anything different than what's happening right now. If your mind's just saying, why are we doing this? Or this is silly, just being able to allow that to come and go. It is okay to have those thoughts, or we're bringing our attention back to our body. This time we're going to go up from the root all the way to the crown, and then we'll be finishing with this exercise. So just continue to just flow with it as best you can, and whatever feels good for you. We're going to be doing just a little bit of different breathing this time, so just follow my instructions and just breathe through it throughout this. So this time we're going to breathe in through the root, out through the sacral right at the belly, in through the solar plexus at the base of the ribs, out through the heart, in through the throat, out through the third eye right at the brows, and then finally in through the crown. And then just keeping your awareness and your breath at your crown, just noticing how your body felt from when we began to how it feels right now. Just taking a moment there. Then what we're going to do, we're going to take a nice breath in, and we're going to keep our body and keep our awareness in our body throughout the rest of the presentation tonight. So nice breath in, and then reach up and do any sort of stretch that maybe your body needs. Just being able to nice, breathe in and just let that all go. All right. So just opening your eyes, coming back into that space. I want to take us out of the presentation. I like a little bit of interaction. Would anybody like to say how that felt for them? Just a couple people. How do you feel from when you began to now?
Calmer.
Calmer. Thank you, Carrie. Anyone else? Difference in the body that you feel?
Peaceful.
Peaceful. Thank you, Monica. All right. Mark, I see you're
Actually,
off mute. What was that?
I feel more open and stretched, for sure.
Open and stretched. All right. Thanks for sharing that. I feel warm. All right. Good. Oh, yes. Santa David, tell us.
Initially, my heart felt really heavy.
Mm.
And then as we came back up, it lightened up.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing that. Good. All right. Well, I just wanted to get a little interaction on that. I love to do those exercises, and that is something that I love to do in my programs to help people really connect with their body. There's a lot of times that we're in our mind, and our mind is great. It gives us, different things that we can do and different actions we can take. But when we get into the body, there's something entirely different that happens. So I want you to stay in the body as we start to talk about the chakras and some of the oils that are connecting with that. So chakras. So those of you that know about this, maybe just adding to your awareness, but those of you that are not as familiar with chakras, just wanted to talk a little bit about this. So chakras are really the energy centers of the body. And so these are places where you can really concentrate. And as I said, the central channel of all of them connected can be that space where you really have the connection to divine, whatever you define that, maybe universe, God, anything spirit, and however you connect with that. And then also how we connect with the earth. So our feet on the ground and our rooting of here on the earth. And so that really that connection is just that channel. And so tonight, as we're talking about each one of them, what we're talking about these oils giving us the opportunity to do is really open those spaces and balance them as well. Sometimes they also need to be closed for various reasons. So not all the time do they need to be open. So I like to say that a lot. Additionally, what I do say is when they're not balanced, it means they're in transition, meaning that there's just something you're going through either emotionally, physically, mentally that is happening within that energy space. So just keeping that in mind and being able to really tune into these spaces to see which one is really calling you. So, so back to that, they're linked to mental, physical, and emotional attributes. So they really have that connection with that. And that's bringing some of that space of the mind within that into our body and being able to come into these chakras. Again, there's balancing of them, there's opening of them, and there's closing of them. So there are some opportunities to work within those spaces. And then the oils and the chakras, what this handout that I'll be giving later talks about is really placing 1 to 3 drops on the appropriate area. So perhaps you're actually using the chakras as we talk about in doTERRA, either topically or aromatically. So there's a couple different ways, and I'm mostly going to be talking aromatic, but you can also use them and topically in these different areas as well. So that's 1 to 3 drops in the appropriate area over that particular chakra. You can also put it on the feet. As we know, a lot of our feet and reflexology is connected to both our hands and our feet. So we can actually use those different areas and be able to investigate kind of where the heart space may be on our hands or our feet and be able to put the oils there. But like I said, today I'm really going to be talking about the aromatic properties and how those really connect to what we're going to be talking about with each chakra. So beginning. So I love to begin with the crown. Sometimes when I do my sessions, I do begin with the root, but a lot of times beginning with that crown chakra. So like we said, when we were doing that breathing exercise right here at the tip of our head, and this is our connection to spirituality and our higher self. So that is the connection, like I said, to whatever you define spirituality, whatever you define higher being, and also our higher self. So being able to really connect with that and being able to have that ego where sometimes that is the voice that we hear, where we're actually hearing really our inner voice and our higher self in that. So the color of this, I love so much. So this image right here is actually that chakra image, and being able to see that symbol as well, I thought was really important too. So that's the violet color. So it follows very much along with the rainbow, which is quite beautiful, and being able to do that. I also loved that, you know, there was crystals that were identified also on this handout. So that is the amethyst. How many of you work with crystals or have them in your space? Yeah, right, Santa David, good, good, yes. Love the crystals. So this amethyst is something that you can also place in that area as well to really help balance or open that space as well. So that's kind of fun. So the oil that I selected from the list of oils, so again, there's a few oils that are on this worksheet that it's going to list, but the one that I chose was frankincense. So who loves frankincense? First of all, all right, woohoo, yeah, for Frank, all right. I too love Frank as well. He is one of my fellows that I have in my cabinet, and I lovingly call him that. And I can't see you all, but what is one use that you currently use Frank for? And because I can't see you all, just speak up.
Inflammation.
Inflammation. Thanks, Carrie. Go ahead, Lori.
I've been using it on skin tags, and it really shrinks them and makes them disappear.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, good. And then Denise said, in my face oil. Thank you, Denise, for sharing that. I can also check out the chat if you ever want to put anything in there. David, go ahead.
I use it in my coffee in the morning, a drop.
Oh, hey, that sounds like what my coffee is going to taste like tomorrow. Thanks for that, David. All right, good, good. Okay, great. Thanks for sharing that, everyone. And I'm going to be asking that on each oil, so you have more time to kind of talk about that a little bit. So frankincense, in this particular case, when we inhale it and we're able to use that into our space, we can really take that awareness into our crown space. And this is an oil that is going to help open and balance this place for us. So the suggestion is really taking that frankincense, taking it in our palms, and then being able to aromatically work within that. So that is one thing with the frankincense. Now I'm going to tell you frankincense, as I looked it up and really started looking at the aromatic attributes. So remember, this is my favorite part of the presentation about intro to oils, is when we aromatically have these enter our body through our nerve right here, right? Our olfactory nerve that we have right here. It is going directly into our limbic system. So it is sending those signals into our body and giving us that signal into our body. And so that is why frankincense is so connected to that crown chakra. So I'm going to tell you with that, it focuses energy, it minimizes distractions, it improves concentration, it eases hyperactivity, impatience, irritability, and restlessness, and helps enhance spiritual awareness and meditation. So when you think about that, that is quite a list, right? That really shows how much frankincense can really come in and be able to help you in that crown chakra. So I want to do just a little teeny part of that exercise. We're just going to close our eyes and we're just going to bring our awareness to our crown. And maybe you want to put your hand there. Maybe you want to put your hand there. And as we think about that, putting that frankincense in this space, being able to just bring our awareness to this space. So it's very much a practice of being able to bring your awareness to this spot. And then we're just going to repeat this, and you can say this out loud or you can say it within your own mind. So the little saying that goes along with this is, I am one with my higher self and one with the divine. So just feeling that into the crown space. So you can open your eyes back up. So that is our first chakra. So that is the first one that with the frankincense. All right. I'm just looking at the comments real quick. Let's see. Jennifer said, I use 3 to 5 drops of frankincense on her crown, third eye, and throat chakra. So thanks for sharing that with us too. And then Shelly said, I'm using frankincense on my tongue currently. So geographical, so in her mouth. That's awesome. Great, great. All right. So next, so we're going to the third eye. So remember the third eye right in between the brow point, maybe just putting your hand there as we're talking about it, but just to bring that awareness there. So this space is all about connection of intuition, imagination, and wisdom. So really that connection also to our purpose, to the way that we're moving through our life. So just that space right there as we were breathing into that. So the color for this is that beautiful indigo color. One of the crystals is blue quartz. And then I chose this one. So this again was in the list of some of the ones that were for the third eye and some of those that help balance and open it up. And that one's lemongrass. So I want to hear from a couple others. What do you use lemongrass for?
Am I on mute?
Yes, you're good.
I'm good. Okay. I do lemongrass a lot in the diffuser or on my dryer balls.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great. That's great. Anybody else with lemongrass?
I use it for bugs.
Lemongrass for bugs. Awesome. Awesome. All right.
I
One
use
more.
it to heal bruises.
Oh, go ahead, David. Sorry.
I use it to heal bruises.
Heal bruises. Awesome. Awesome. Learning all sorts of good things about these different oils. So great, great. So lemongrass, so for that third eye. So again, just like I think Jennifer had said too, using a couple drops of that, or again, aromatically being able to use that lemongrass and breathe that in as we are thinking about and being in that third eye space. So lemongrass is a great one for that as well. So with that one, this one particularly in this aromatic sense promotes awareness and purification. So really being able to get into that third eye with that lovely chakra there. So that's the one. So with this one, I'm not going to do our kind of closing our eyes, but this one you can say, I am tuning into the divine to follow the path towards my purpose. So this is really, again, that space where you connect with your purpose and be able to move forward with that intuition and that wisdom. So that is the third eye. So our next one is moving right down into our throat. So our throat chakra, really being able to look at this one. So our throat, also from not only the front of our throat, but also the back of our throat. So I want you to think about that chakra as it illuminates through this whole area here. So that's really our communication and our self-expression. So that can be an area that actually is fairly easy. I guess I say it's easy because sometimes I know when I need to speak my truth, that area gets tight. Anybody else find that their throat chakra sometimes can feel tight? Okay, all right. So this one's kind of a good one to practice with because it's easy to feel that sometimes. So the color with this one is blue. Again, we're moving through the rainbow, and then aquamarine is the crystal with this one. And so with this one, I chose lavender off of the list. So tell me a few things, maybe from those that haven't shared so far. What do you use lavender for?
Skin irritation.
Skin irritations. Thanks, Monica.
itching and bug bites.
Yes. Okay. All right. I hear you on that one.
I use
Anybody
it for
else?
sleep.
Shelly, I see you're off mute.
I use it for sleeping.
Sleeping. Great. Great. Sorry, somebody else?
I was saying, going to say I use it also for added to my nighttime diffuser, but I had recent surgery, so I've been using it to in a mix with some other oils for my scars where the surgery was.
Ah, yes, yes. Thanks, Mark. Let's see, Denise said she uses lavender in her tea, so that's lovely. And then Jennifer said lavender for anxiety and for burns. Thank you both. All right, good. All right, so lavender, oops, sorry, I moved my slide back when I was clicking on the chat there. So lavender, again, so aromatically breathing that in, focusing on that chakra point in our throat and really being able to see how that opens up for us. So lavender was really interesting as I looked this up a little bit more, promotes consciousness, love, health, peace, and a general sense of well-being. And it also nurtures creativity. So a lot of what we talk about, right, when I asked what do we use lavender for, we could talk about some of the like anxiety or some of those things that we may use it for, but then a lot of the things are physical that we're talking about. So it's also really, really awesome to look at what these oils can do for us as we breathe them in and as they come into our body in this way. So promoting that consciousness and that opportunity to really connect with this throat chakra space. So with this one, the speaking part is I am speaking clearly and truthfully with grace and ease. So with these little pieces, I think that these are really great because as you're focusing on this area, this can be something that you're just saying inside. You could say this just to yourself, or you can say it out loud as well, and just see how that really helps you focus on that particular area. So that's the throat chakra. So the next one is the heart chakra. And it's funny because I always thought that the heart chakra was red, but learned that it's green. So the heart chakra, so that space, I love to talk about the heart in the things that I do for the body, in the front of the heart and also the sides and the back of the heart. So we're talking about that whole rib cage area here and really being able to come into that space. So that's the green. So the beautiful symbol that you see here, along with just the way that it's represented in the chakras there. And then rose quartz is one of those crystals that is very much connected to this space and can be used in this way. So the oil that I chose for this one and that I was also interested by was peppermint. So tell me, what do you do with peppermint? Yeah, got a chat here.
You can put it in your shower to help relieve congestion.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Energy.
Energy. Good.
I keep mice away from it, from the house.
Oh, mice. Yes. Awesome. Yeah, putting a little around the perimeter. Thank you. Let's see. Denise says she rubs a little bit on her chest and head right before a workout. So kind of that cooling opportunity. Jennifer says she puts it in her mouth in the afternoon for kind of a little pick-me-up. Ooh, that's good. I like that. And then headaches and also, yeah, pre-workout. So kind of getting that energy up. All right, great. Thank you. So this one with the heart, again, this peppermint, being able to breathe that in. And if you remember maybe from the intro to oils, if you're in person or something like that, being able to have that peppermint experience. Anybody kind of have that experience where you put a few drops in your hand and you just breathe it in? Right? What does that do? Where do you feel that when you breathe it in?
Sinuses.
Sinuses. All right. All right. Do you feel it any further? Do you feel it into your lungs, kind of into that heart space at all?
Yeah, it actually kind of goes everywhere.
It really does. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I was interested that peppermint was that, because when you think about it aromatically, really bringing that down into your heart space and being able to focus into that area, because it's really kind of helping your lungs as well. Just as I'm looking at the person from the iPhone, sorry, that talked about the shower. I'm sorry, I can't see her name, but how she said that's also bringing that into our lung space, right? So that's that peppermint. Now, again, when we're thinking about aromatically and thinking about what that peppermint does, so it really purifies and stimulates the conscious mind. So I thought that was a really interesting connection to that peppermint and being able to bring it there. And as we started our exercise today and kind of our just experiential bringing ourselves into our body, that's a lot of times the space that I start in. So bringing people into their heart space from their mind into the heart space. So just kind of helping with that as well. So you can really use that oil to help you move into that space. So that is, speaking of that, so when you're in that space, you can say this: I am giving and receiving love effortlessly and unconditionally. So I really love that one, and you can use that one as you're focusing in that area. All right, a couple more here. So our solar plexus. So this is right underneath the ribs. So literally where your ribs connect, this is that space right in between those. So this area right here, and maybe you just want to put your hand right there. Maybe a lot of times you've maybe felt this space, especially in digestion. This is a lot of the area that's working in our digestion as well. And so that space is actually the power, our self-worth, and self-confidence. So we are radiating out of that space and really being able to focus on that particular area when it comes to our self-worth and self-confidence. So if there's a moment when you are just kind of feeling maybe not powerful, maybe kind of anxious or anything like that, you can really focus on this area and bring your attention here and see what's going on, and maybe use this oil for that as well. So the color here is yellow, and then the crystal that attaches with this is citrine. So that really beautiful yellow, yellow crystal. And then the oil that I highlighted here is bergamot. And I'm really interested in bergamot. So I personally have not used bergamot. So I want to hear what you use bergamot for.
I use it as kind of an anti-stress, kind of a calming scent. I used to use it when we did pet therapy visits. Put it on the dog, and it really calmed the mental health patients.
Awesome. Thanks, Monica, for sharing that. That's great. All right, anybody have experience with bergamot they want to share?
I use it as an alternative to other citrus for uplifting mood. And there's some times when normal citrus just isn't as attractive, and bergamot just needs something just a bit different. But it's nice and uplifting for me.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that's really cool. So I love that I chose this one. And as you all both are speaking, Monica and Carrie sharing that, I think that uplifting and really being able to kind of calm and bring that anxiety down, perhaps. I think that's a great area for this when we think about our solar plexus. So again, being able to rub this on topically in that area, or just being able to smell it and really focus in on that area. So I love this saying here. So I am powerful, confident, and successful in all my ventures. So really saying that from that place really allows for us to move forward in that area. Bergamot, just before I go back past that one, I'm sorry. It influences and elevates and opens and increases awareness. And what's interesting too is what we're talking about when we start thinking about these different chakras too, is that we are taking in our senses, right? We're being able to feel into these places, not thinking or trying to understand about these places. We are trying to bring our awareness into that feeling of the spaces. And so I think it's really interesting that it also heightens our 5 senses. So it allows us to bring in that heightened sense and be able to use that bergamot from there as well. So that's kind of a cool thing about bergamot. So our sacral, so this is our whole belly area. So just thinking about your belly area and this space, and just feeling into that space. So this is our authentic creation and creator. So this is the space of also our sexuality and those pieces of us that are in that space. So this is all that center right there. So our sacral chakra is in that space. The color is orange, and the crystal is carnelian. I like to bring that crystal up because I love to say that crystal. It just sounds so lovely. And so that's that really beautiful orange color. This time I chose cypress. So cypress, what do you use cypress for? Is it something that you have in your repertoire there?
Antibacterial.
Antibacterial. Thanks, Monica. Yeah, David.
I use it to increase circulation. I've been diabetic for 55 years, and so I have problems, especially in my extremities, of seeing, the blue colors. And I put cypress on, and it just totally changes that to a nice pink.
Wow, that's really cool. Thank you for sharing that. Carrie says circulation. Cool. Jennifer, use it on my feet to ground my energy. Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. That's great. All right. Thanks for sharing that. I was interested in cypress, not one that I have in my cabinet quite yet, but definitely one I'll be getting. So this one creates feelings of security and grounding. So just like Jennifer said, they're just using it to ground her energy. And also she says it's also great for back pain as well. So cypress, being able to use that again topically, so being able to use that in the area, and then also aromatically, and just focusing in that space and seeing how that opens and creates a different experience for yourself. So the saying here is, I'm authentically creating a life free of stress and full of bliss. So that is the area 2. I like to talk about this area because not only are we digesting our food in this area, but we're digesting our emotions in this area as well. So when you think about that and being able to really focus on this area and start to open and balance it, then it can also help with digestion of food, but also those emotions, being able to move through them and then allow them to be released as well. So just thinking about that. All right, our final one here is our root chakra. So this is at the base of our spine. So the very, very base, when maybe you can feel it on your chair right now. And the color is red, and then the crystal is ruby. And the essential oil that I chose today is the Arbor Veda. Am I saying it right? And I'd love to know, this is not one either that I have in my cabinet, but I've read about it. What sort of things do you use this one for?
Well, you picked it perfectly. I have heard it Arbor Vitae, and it's incredibly grounding, like to the point where you breathe it in, you can just feel this just whoop, whoop. I don't know how you spell that, but
could have put that on my slide. Great. Anybody else with this particular oil? Is it one that you have? Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So exactly that. So calming and helps enhance awareness. And then like Carrie said, very grounding. Also, what I also thought why I chose this one off the list was because it really it made me think of trees and just the earth and the ground, and just that grounding and that earthiness. So being able to use this as you're thinking about that root chakra, and just being able to breathe that in and see how that helps you to really balance and open that space. So the saying in this particular area is I am a divine being of light. I am peaceful, protected, and secure. So that is that one. And I didn't say what the root chakra, so it's really that survival, security, and stability. And so sometimes when we are perhaps moving or having a change in career or change in path, that can be when the root chakra really comes up for us to look at and be able to see how it's doing and if it needs a little bit of love with an oil like this. So that's a great one. So with that, just kind of coming to the end of our time together, I want to see if there's any questions, first of all, or any thoughts that you'd like to share about chakras, oils, anything that you learned that you're excited to kind of put into practice, anything at all.
What I've found that is really important for the coronavirus is Ravinsara.
Ravinsara.
That's one of the one of the strongest antiviral essential oils.
Thank you. Thank you. And how do you use that one, David?
I will again use that in my tea, in coffee. I will breathe it in. There's a variety of ways I'll use that.
Awesome. Thank you. Denise, I think you were saying something at the same time. Would love to
I
hear.
was just going to say, as you were talking about that, the root chakra and what it's for, I wrote it down because I think I want to get that. I think that's, at least in this time that we're going through right now, emotionally, I think that's really great for a lot of people, probably. That sounds like to me. If it's for stability and security, I mean, I think a lot of people feel unstable right now. So that's, from when I talk to people, that's what I gather. So
yes.
Carry that one around at work, you know?
Yeah. No, that's great. I was just working with someone today that was saying, you know, when she gets stressed and things like that, she can really feel herself getting ungrounded. And so we talked about some strategies to be able to ground, and that's a beautiful one. Thanks for sharing that, Denise. Let's see. Ayurveda, great on cold sores. Shelly wants me to go back to the third eye shot. I would love to. I will do that. Any other questions or thoughts?
Yes, I have a couple. I was actually doing the oils as you were talking. I'd get up and get them and put them on and smell them as you were going through things. I was really surprised with the peppermint. And like you said, feeling the lungs just really open up, and I had never attributed it to that before. And so there's a lot of them I'm going to use a lot more. But my question is you were talking about different oils for the different chakras. How did you choose the ones you chose? And is there a way that we could look up which ones are associated with it? I mean, I look very much at the medical stuff as well as the emotional books. So I kind of play with things myself, but I was just really impressed with what you came up with.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for that question, Mark. So Carrie actually helped me a little bit with this. She had sent me a few resources that were out there of some worksheets. And so that worksheet that I'm going to send you has the oils that I chose to highlight tonight, that I personally connected with and wanted to share tonight. But it also has a few others for each chakra. So I really want to send that out after we're done here, because you can use that as a resource too, Mark, and just see how the others might associate. The other thing that's really awesome, and that I've also done for various things when my kiddos have something that's going on and I need to know what oil to use, is I really just do a Google search and just kind of see what comes up and then read through it and then see what resonates for me. So kind of a couple different things, but I'm excited to give you this handout because as I was doing my research and Carrie sent me that resource, that was one that I really liked and I really connected with. So I hope that that helps you kind of continue your exploration. Cool. All right. Anything else? I hope, Shelley, that helps you with that that slide there. I'm going to go back to the other slides here. And I think, Carrie, I'm going to hand it back to you with, you know, sharing some of the specials and our drawing.
Awesome, thank you. That was incredible. I may actually call on Susan Tyndall for the specials because I know she just knows them and I don't have them committed to memory. But I do want to let you know that I took down everybody's name, everybody who's here, and I'm going to do a drawing for raffles and they'll just be shipping you some gifts. I would like to find out the name of the person on the iPhone because your name is not coming up.
Oh, my name is Jazz.
What is it
Sorry.
again?
Jazz, J-A-Z-Z.
Okay. And how can I find out your mailing info or contact info?
Oh, I can give it to you.
Or just maybe stick it in the chat for me?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Cool, so yeah, so I will be getting out some little gifties for being on this class. Susan, are you ready to tell us about what the specials are? Hello? Unmute?
Okay, there. Sorry. Now, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the specials this month from all the way up until August 15th is a brand new oil. And like we've never been able to get it. It's called Caraway. And so with 125 PV order, you'll receive it free. We can't even buy it, but it's perfect for digestion support when ingested, and it's part of a healthy weight management program. Also, other benefits with it is take 1 drop in water or tea, and it's going to support your immune health, which we all need right now. It soothes digestive system. It's a powerful antioxidant, so maybe a little bit similar to clove. It's just going to be another added powerful antioxidant. It soothes overworked muscles, so you can just apply it to your muscles, kind of like you do the Deep Blue. And it's just also very uplifting, so any emotions, it's going to really help uplift your emotions. So that's my favorite special. And then it's kind of their back to school specials. 15% off. They have 3 different ones that you can take 15% off. And I love the Thinker. My husband has used it when he does, different tests. So it's not just for kids. I like it a lot better because it's a lot for guys. It's a lot more mellow, and it's not such a strong scent. And it really, really helps you focus at the task in hand. You can throw it in your pocket, backpacks. It's in a nice roller bottle, but it's just really going to help you think and get your studying done or your work. The other one that's and a roller bottle that I love that's 15% off is the Motivate Touch. So in the afternoon when you need a quick pick-me-up and you need to get back to work, just do a little bit of that, and it really honestly helps you get re-motivated to finish the day. And Intune is 15% off, and I know a lot of people that love Intune. All 3 of them are roller bottles, so just roll it on, and it really helps you focus. And it's a very uplifting, powerful aroma. Am I missing anything?
Thank you.
I think that's it.
Thank you. Any other questions before we wrap up? I did the drawing for the LRP Club winner. I'll be posting that on our Facebook page, an oil for that. If you want to follow the group and you're on Facebook, we have a group called An Oil for That. A lot of you are on there. And we use that for lots of good communication. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. Thanks, Amanda.
Thanks,
you were awesome.
Yes, it was great. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.